Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Easy as that. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. You?
Yeah, well, as good as can be expected.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How are you getting on?
Aye, all right. Just obviously just trying to stay positive.
Mm.
Um, Trying to just do the best I can out of a bad situation. It's tough. It's hard, but as I say, just trying to stay positive, keep training, and trying to get the days to go by as quick as they can. Really.
Is quarantine life as different or similar to fight camp life?
Um, well, you could say it is slightly, but the only difference is like you're in the gym most of the day, you're sparring, you're doing things you love doing.
Yeah.
Whereas just now you're sort of limited to what you can do. Myself, I've got a bag that I can stick up and hit away in at, but it's no the same as being in the gym and training with the lads and, as I say, sparring, loads of different things. It just breaks up the day, and then you can go away and you can, for example, go somewhere and get a game of pool and just let your day go
Yeah.
by. Or but you're literally just you're locked and you're very limited on what you can do. So, but it's similar in the fact that you're you're in bed early at night. You're chilling out. You're tuning in and watching Netflix or doing whatever. You're doing that kind of thing. But I just feel like, as I say, you are limited.
Mm. What are you watching on Netflix?
Eh, I just finished watching. Well, saying that, I'm not actually on Netflix now. We're watching something on BBC iPlayer. It's it's sort of like Scottish based. It's called The Nest.
Oh,
Martin Compston's the one of the main characters in it. So just finished watching that. So and then we started watching Killing Eve. But it's hard to get into it, to be fair. I don't know if
oh,
you've seen it.
stick with it. Stick with it.
Yeah,
It's really good. Yeah, yeah,
really.
yeah. Yeah,
Well, watching that, it's just getting a bit interesting now. To be fair.
I went to Dubai just before Christmas and I watched the first two, like I watched it all on the
Yeah.
flight over and the flight home. It's really good. Yeah.
Alright, I'll stick in then. I'll stick in.
Do stick with it, stick with it. Do you know I was watching some of your fights and just little bits of interviews and stuff earlier on. I was cooking and I watched like a little mini documentary that
Yeah.
you had made.
Yeah.
Um, and it was great, really, really great. And one of the main sort of points that stuck out when I was watching it is how really open and honest that you are.
Yeah.
It's something
Yeah.
that came across like it was just very refreshing to
Mhm.
see someone like in your sport be so open and honest about different things that you had gone through when you were younger and
Yeah.
overcome. Is that element or is that part of your story important for you to get out there?
Yeah, I suppose it is what it is. I've been through the things I've been through, and I am where I am. But it's made me the person I am today.
Mm.
So I suppose it is sort of part of the story, and it probably will sort of get out there and stuff. But yeah, I am the person I am today because of what I've been through. I don't think I would be as successful and as tough as what I am, and have the desire and the motivation that I have in the sport if I never went through what I've been through. So it definitely is a big part, that's part of me. But and I'm sure, as you say, the people that watch a documentary or they watch my career, they'll find more out about me and my life as we go on, really.
Do you find that you get a lot of response online, we'll say in your social media, with people reaching out to you with similar problems or, looking for guidance, I suppose?
Yeah, I suppose I do get quite a lot of similar stories and that, and I do. That's one thing I always do. I always try and give back to the people. I'm not going. I try my best to get back to everybody and try and treat everyone the same. And if someone has been through something similar to me or whatever, and I can help, then I'll be more than happy to try and give them advice and help them through whatever tough times they're going through.
I mean, in terms of looking at your career, your professional career, the titles that you've won, what you've achieved, the accolades, the fights that you've been in, it's happened so quickly for you, and at such a young age. How has it been? Has there been people that you've been able to go to and get really solid advice from, or are you just kind of learning as you go and taking the good with the bad?
Yeah, well, I suppose as you say, it's been quite quick, and you could say, well, I know for a fact that, and it's been like that from the get go, from being an amateur. I was right in the deep end, right from the very start. I think I became Scottish champion after maybe the same year I'd won the novice championship. So, and then before I knew it, I was in the British finals, and then I was away to World Youth Championships, but after only like 12, 13 fights, which was mad. Like no many of the amateurs at all had done anything like that. So I'd went from right in the deep end right away, from amateur right as a young boy when I very first started, and it's carried on with me right throughout my career and until I turned professional. Obviously, I had my professional debut, and then my second fight, and then even my third fight was sort of like a slight step up, and then my fourth fight was for a title,
Mm.
and then my fifth fight was for the Commonwealth title, and then I defended it in my sixth. No, sorry, I had my sixth, and I defended it in my seventh, and then I had the unification British and Commonwealth title in my eighth fight. Like it was just like a big roller coaster. It happened so quickly. Still feels a bit surreal now, but it's the mentality I've had throughout my career, and it's the mentality I'm going to continue to have, and that's no fear. I'm not scared to take risks. People that don't take risks won't get the rewards.
I
I
agree.
took these risks, and they've paid off, and I'm going to continue to do that. And do you know what? If I keep taking these risks and say they don't come off, at least I can hold my head up and say, do you know what? I tried. I've never backed down from no
Hmm.
challenge, and I feel like that's a lot of people's downfalls in this sport. A lot of folk are, "Oh, I want to protect my own. I want to be undefeated. I want to be tell my mates or whatever people up the town and that I'm 15, 16 and 0. Do you know, I've not lost a
Mm.
fight, but I'm not scared to lose." And people might think, well, why are you saying that? But it's true. I genuinely am scared to lose, and I think that's why I'm getting the rewards I'm getting, because I'm going into fights potentially. Let's no beat around the bush. I could lose these fights that I'm going into. I'm fighting top quality operators, and I'm having hard grueling fights. But I'm willing to take the risks, and as I say, they're paying off, and I'll continue to do that.
You know, and that's a really good point in what you say, and a question I always ask any fighters that I interview that do have that zero is, you know, is there a pressure when you go into your next fight going, is this the time that this
Yeah.
zero is going to go and a loss is going to come? And from that you kind of get to see, you know, where people's minds are at and what the zero really does mean to them.
Hmm.
Like you say, you know, having no fear and going in there and not being afraid of a potential loss. Do you think that's what makes you more dangerous? The fact that you're just give me the challenges, put them in front of me, and let's just see what happens.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, definitely. It was just right away. That's a great mindset. Right away, you've got a bonus. You've got an advantage because you're you're going to take on all challengers, and I've made that clear right from the very first fight I've ever had, right in the deep end, and I proved that I'm not scared of anybody. And going in there with no fear is a big thing, because if you're going in there and you're scared, or you're feeling pressure that you might lose, or you're having doubts and thoughts that you might lose, then they they doubts might end up becoming a reality.
Mm.
So, as I say to you, like I genuinely am scared to lose. Like, but I go in with the mindset that I'm 100% winning, and I prepare my body through hell, and there's nothing else on my mind but winning. But that's where a lot of people go wrong. They don't take on the challenges, or they don't want to take the risk. They might say it's too soon, and I'm not knocking anyone for that. Like that's true. Like I'm not gonna lie and say like, oh, like get me that world title shot right now. I'm gonna fight them. Well, to be fair, I probably would say that, but I know. But like I've got good people around me and sensible people around me to keep me grounded and keep me on the right track and give me the right advice. But um, having no fear is certainly a big advantage for a fighter to have, and it's a good thing to have as well, because you can be the most talented fighter in the world, but if you've not got that heart and you've not got that mindset that you're willing to fight anybody, then you're only going to go so far.
Is that fearlessness that you talk about something that only shows up with you in boxing, or is it a trait that you have just in life as general? Have you always had that sort of fearlessness?
Nah, that's a good point. Actually, it's a big thing in boxing. Like it's my main thing, as in like that fearless streak and everything like that. But I do genuinely feel like I am like that as a person as well. Like
Mm.
being brought up that way. Like I've had an older brother all my life, bigger and better and stronger than me, who beat me up for years as a young boy, and never ever once did I quit. You know, I just kept on
Mm.
getting better, kept on grinding, kept on wiping the blood off my nose or whatever it was, and never ever quit. And I just kept on going at it and at it and at it. And now my brother's my biggest fan, who's there, and I wouldn't be sorry, that's my phone cut off. And I wouldn't be in the position I am today if it wasn't for him, and it
Mm.
wasn't for the tough times that I've been through. Because I'm never going to be in as deep water as what I have been in the years growing up with my brother. Seriously, like that might sound brutal, but it's just the way we lived, and you know
Mm.
what, I hated him at the time, but probably couldn't thank him enough now to be in the position I am now.
Well, it's a very relatable experience. So many people
Yeah,
go through that with with not just brothers, but with family members in general. And I think it's when you get older and you get a little bit more perspective, you realize how, I suppose, valuable in a way that is in terms of character building.
yeah, definitely, of course, 100%. It's as I said to you there, you hate them at the time, but like it's as I say, like every time I win a fight now, or I get success or I do whatever, like my brother's one of the first person I go to and give a cuddle and thank, and we celebrate together. Do you know what I mean? Because we've done
Mm.
this together. It's not just me myself. There's so many people behind this success. My family, my coaches, everybody. Do you know what I mean? So it's not just a one man team. It's everyone around me as well.
When you do get a win, and you've put in the hard training camp, and you've been in a war, and you do get the win, at what point after the fight do you kind of sit back with yourself and go, we done it again?
I don't know. It kind of depends. Obviously, that last fight was hard, grueling fight.
Mm.
Was on cloud nine for a good few days. I feel like the adrenaline was still pumping on Sunday, on the Sunday. Still sort of celebrating and that, and then it's sort of when you go into the Monday and you wake up on the Monday morning and you really do feel like you've been hit by a bus and you
Yeah.
can't get out the bed, and that's when you really it sinks in and says, you know what, that was tough, but like well worth it. Like that was one of the best nights of my life, but at the same time, one of the most challenging. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
My body's never felt and been pushed the way it had been in that fight. So it's mixed emotions, but it's certainly an experience that I can't wait to experience again.
At what point does the want to go again? When does that creep in? Do you kind of like, I mean, most gyms, most coaches will tell their fighters, right, 1 week, 2 weeks, I don't want you near the gym, come back then,
Yeah.
fresh head. What way does it work with you?
Yeah, no, I feel like that. I feel like you as again, it really does depend a lot. Like with a fight like that, in my last fight, you need a full week doing nothing, literally, and then once you've got that week out the way, I feel like I can start back slow running, just enjoying myself, still enjoying my
Mm.
food, just enjoying training, doing what you want when you want, and then obviously you get back in the gym, you start hitting the bags, you start doing proper sessions again. So I feel like with me, like I always kind of want to stay on it.
Mm.
I am, I'm big for my weight and stuff, so I know I can't afford to take too long out and eating and having a drink or whatever, socialising and that. Like I can also do that, but I need to stay on it at all times with my
Mm.
training, some sort of training, just to obviously keep on track with my weight and I'm always quite fit anyway. Like I could go like 2 3 weeks without training or whatever, and like if I could go back, I could do six rounds sparring right off the back. So I genuinely I'm quite fit anyway. So, but being fit and then being fit for a fight like I had is two completely different things. But that's one thing I do. I prepare right, and I'm always ready. I'm always ready for 12 rounds, and I'll continue to be like that for the rest of my career, because I'm in a position now where I'm a champion, you know, and I need to train like a champion, and I need to live like a champion.
When you have the mindset of being a champion and you attain a certain level, certain titles, um, I imagine that the goal, world titles, more weight divisions, the goals keep moving, the goalposts keep changing. How do you feel, you know, down the line? When will enough be enough for you? Like, when will you sit back and say, do you know what? I've done everything now. There's nothing left to achieve. It's time to move on to something else.
Yeah, I've said that previously. Actually, I said that I want to be one of the fighters that I'd see. To be honest, like, this is a brutal sport that we're in, and our next fight could be our last fight, and that's the brutal truth. So I've got a young family now. You know, I've got a young daughter, and like, I want to see her grow up. I want to enjoy life. I want to see her growing up and doing things with her. So I don't want to have too many fights and end up not being able to almost know who my daughter is. Do you know what I mean? Because as brutal as it is, there is fighters out there. Like, there's fighters out there that lose their life. So in the nicest way possible, I want to get in this sport and get out as quick as I can, with my health intact. So the plan is that I highly doubt I'll be still fighting. I want to be sort of done early 30s. You know, I'm still young now, so I'm 23 now. I believe I've got a world title in the not so distant future. Definitely, I've got the perfect team around me. MTK Global, they'll advise me and guide me to the right steps, and I'll 100% be more than ready for when I get these opportunities, and I want to grasp them, and I want to take them. So obviously my dream is to become a world champion, and I've got the frame and the build to go up through the weights. So if I can win even one world title, my dreams come true. But that's not my final goal. Like, I want to go on, and I want to keep going and achieve and get to the highest that I can in the sport. And I would say I've got a good 10 years in me to do that. 33, and if I've won a world title, as I say, I'll be happy. But I'm not sitting on that. Like, I want to go up through the weights and do as much as I can, as I say.
Because, I mean, when you look at it, like at 23, you've got so much time. I mean, we see people start at 20, you know, and we see people at 28 having 10 fights, you know, so you've got so much time to explore your craft and to achieve all these things that you want to. Is it hard to stay patient? You know, like, is it hard to not just be like, give me the fights, let's do it now? You know, is it hard to sort of sit back and go, okay, I just have to wait?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like that was sort of. I remember my very first fight, my professional debut. My team were saying that I was ready and I could beat the British champion, like, right now, back then, and that was the same night as my professional debut. But that's how well and that's how quick I was progressing in the gym. So, and it's the same goes. Like, I feel like for an 8 fighter, like, I've progressed quickly and I am a bit more advanced than that. But at the same time, I do need to keep grounded, and I do need to be careful, because the jump from British, European, and world level, they're big jumps. I feel like very, very soon, if if we weren't in this crisis right now, and this virus wasn't going on in the world, I feel like I definitely did have a European title in me this year. And then obviously the jump from that to world is big. I would have had a good few fights before any opportunity like that came. But obviously with what's going on now, we need to just obviously have to stay patient. Everyone does, so I've got no option. But I'm preparing. I'm still training. I'm keeping myself fit. I'm running every day. And I'll be more than ready when we get the go ahead.
One of the more apparent features that you have in terms of your personality and your media profile is your humility. And there's kind of, in boxing, there's a split, I find, in that guys that achieve high accolades early on in their career, they can have maybe a big ego, And then there's another side of guys who just remain quite humble and grounded and sort of, true to the sport and true to themselves. You
Yeah.
very much seem to be the latter. What keeps you humble? What keeps your feet on the ground?
I'm nowhere near where I want to be. Um, I've got so much learning to do. Um, I'm I can learn something every day. Whether it's life in general, whether it's boxing related, like as I'm nowhere near the finished article. I've worked hard, and it's just genuinely been through hard work
Mm.
and dedication why I'm in the position I am just now. But I also know that you can lose that in a split second. So that's why I stay the way I do, and that's why I still train like I'm a challenger every fight. There's no way now because I'm the champion that I'm going to take my foot off the gas. That makes me even more hungry, and that makes me prepare even harder. So I just obviously I know that you can lose this position or title or whatever, you can lose that in a heartbeat.
Mm.
So it's you do need to stay grounded. You do need to stay humble, and I'm not, I won't be satisfied until, as I said, I get a world title. Like I won't stop. I'll keep grinding, and I genuinely do believe, like I do believe there's more talented fighters out there than me, but you'll find one that's going to work as hard as me, and they're going to fight like me, and there's no many that can go like honestly, like there's no quit in me whatsoever. I feel like that's one of my biggest things that I've got going for me, because like I'm not stupid. Like I know I'm a talented fighter. I was on the GB team for a few years. I was
Mm.
British champion several times. Like I do have a good amateur background, and I am a talented fighter. But as I said earlier, like talent only gets you so far. You can be the most talented fighter in the world, but for example, if you can't take a body shot, or you haven't got the heart to dig in deep when it gets tough, then you won't get to the top of the game. And I feel like the biggest thing I've got is my heart and my desire and my digging deep. And I've said before the Cash fight, to be fair, that I've not really had the chance to show that. Well, with the Farooq fight, I did get a chance to kind of show that, but still people haven't seen it. Like
Mm.
there's still so much more. Um, yeah, so it's exciting, and I can't wait to obviously get back involved in big fights. I really am. I can't wait to get back in there.
I know a lot of people are the same. They can't wait to see you get back in there as well. But while we were talking, I let people put in questions into the question box. So I'm just
All
going
right,
to go
yeah,
in and have a look and
yeah.
see what everyone's saying and see if there's any good questions in there. Um, uh, Let me see there now. Sam 23-8 has asked, Kash Farooq rematch. Will we ever see it?
Yeah, I've made it clear that I'm well up for the rematch. We've both made that clear. We've both said we feel like something bigger should maybe be at stake this time. Whether that's me go on and try and win this European title, and
Mm.
I said that the day after the fight that I would be more than happy to win that European title and make the first event against Cash, 100%. So it's just about, obviously, it's just a shame what's going on right now,
Mm.
with this, obviously with this crisis and that. Like, but will we ever see it again? I'm quite confident that we will, because he's up for it, I'm up for it. My team, MTK Global, they're one of the best to deal with. Eddie Hearn's obviously now involved. The fight can be made, but obviously, we obviously just need to get a deal agreed. We both need to keep winning, keep building the fight, and I believe it's an even bigger. Well, of course it is. It's an even bigger fight than the first one we had. We were both young, unbeaten fighters coming through, putting it all on the line. I feel like obviously it'll be no different next time, and it'll be even more exciting, and even more intriguing, because the people want to see it again.
Absolutely. I mean, it didn't disappoint the first one,
Yeah,
so I think that's
yeah.
why everyone wants to see it again,
That's what I
right?
said as well earlier. I feel like the second fight will be even better, because
Mm.
we both now know how we prepared, how we felt during the fight, how tough it was, how much more we had left in the tank. We know that now. So then when we go into the second fight, what we can change when we go into the second fight, all that's going to be come into play, and I feel like we will go for it even more, because as much as it was a grueling hard fight, I still had more in me in the tank. I had more. So I feel like the next one, when I'm going in round 10, 11, 12, and I'm feeling the way I did last time in that, like I can go for it even more, and he'll be the same. So yeah, I think it's going to be even more exciting if we get the rematch.
Definitely. Right, let's have a look here. Craig from An Evening With has asked your dream arena to headline. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think a lot of
Where
people.
are you from? Are you in Edinburgh?
Yeah, I'm Edinburgh. Yeah,
Mm.
I think a lot of people know this one anyway. My dream venue is obviously Tynecastle Park. I'm a.
Can't hear you.
Can you
Oh
hear
yeah,
me now?
now I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying my dream venue. I think a lot of people know the answer to that is obviously Tynecastle. Was been a Hearts fan all my life. The story, a lot of people know the story as well. Hearts are obviously back me. I go to the games when I can. I've paraded my belts on the pitch a good few times now. They're keen on getting the fight. They're well behind it. They want to see it. So it's there for me. It's down to me really. I need to keep winning. I need to keep doing what I'm doing, and I need to keep building my profile. And I also obviously need the right fight at the right time, and that rematch could possibly be that fight.
Mm, amazing. Right, we'll take one more. Let's have a little look. Um, Scotty Taylor has asked, "What's your new ring name?" I heard the twig. What does that mean?
No, that's one of my mates. He's just having a laugh, to be honest.
He's after wasting a good question. I thought it
Yeah,
was let's go back in again. Actually, there's a really nice one here. I won't call out the username just for privacy, but
yeah.
she said, let me just see here. She said, I recently lost a loved one, and your story has helped me through it. Thank you very much.
There you
That's
go.
very nice.
Yeah, that is nice, and obviously I don't even know who that is.
Mm,
And it's just it's nice to know that. Do you know what I mean? That
mm.
people, it makes people feel better, and as I
I
say,
think I'm
like
gonna cry.
you go.
I think I'm
Yeah,
gonna cry.
I know, I know.
That's very
It's mad.
sweet.
Yeah, no,
It's
that is.
do you know what it is? It's having an impact on people that you don't
Mm,
know. You know
I
that
know,
like this is why it's so important. That's why I
because
spoke about at the start to talk and communicate. You
yeah,
know.
well, there's another perfect example, like a young lad. Earlier on, I received a message, and it was basically, as a young lad, he started off in boxing. Like, do you mind doing like a little video for him? And like, without any doubt at all, like, of course, like it's 2 seconds of my time. So I done it, and then I get replies and that, and saying like, you don't understand how like you've just made that boy's day, like, and it's like what 30 seconds of my time to do something like that, and I don't realize how much of an impact that has on someone's life. It's mad, it's crazy, but as I say, like it just that's what I feel like. That's why a lot of people can relate to me, because I am the same as them. Like I'm not any different just because I've had a bit of success. I'm the same person. I've been through the same as what everyone else has been through. I do the same things as what everyone else does. I've just worked hard and pursued my dream really, and I want to keep doing that and go as far as I can go.
Absolutely, I hear you. Right, I'm going to try and find it. I'm going to try and find an upbeat question for a
Yeah.
final one to leave it on. um, Sandra has asked if you could be stuck in an elevator with one boxer, dead or alive, who would it be?
Stuck in.
Would you
Oh,
want to be in an elevator?
I know.
What a question! Great.
I know. Kash Farooq. Why not? We could just go for it for the whole time. We'll just knock lumps out each other.
Brilliant. Well, listen, thank you so much, Lee. I
No,
really
thank you.
appreciate your time.
No, of course.
Great chat, and I
Yeah.
look forward to seeing you back out there. You know,
Yeah,
whenever it will
definitely.
be.
Yeah, hopefully I can speak to you again soon.
Yeah, absolutely, you will do 100%. Thanks for your
Right.
time. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. See you
Cheers.
later.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.